Alchemist.
I'm Dredgelf.
And welcome to our Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr series, episode 5.
I wish that joke died alongside Anthem. But hey, we're playing, helping Mythic Thunderboots track down a criminal.
Unsurprisingly, the Alfik are often disrespected outside of Elsweyr. Here, everyone knows we are just as clever as any other Khajiit. But outside of these lands, well, there is a reason the Alfik do not travel.
That's because you're morsels for whatever wild animal they come across.
Well, yeah, there's that, but also it's a talking kitty.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine talking kitties not being pretty pampered. Except
Yeah.
if they say the wrong things, like, Papa's been stooping the babysitter.
God. So yeah, what do you think about that whole situation with Epic Games and Shenmue 3?
I think it's a bit of much ado about nothing. Well, maybe not nothing, but it's not like the game's not going to be made. It's not like the game's not going to be available. It's not like the game's some sort of bizarre aberration that's nothing like it was promised to be. They're just offering it exclusively on a sales platform that some people object to. So the fact that they're giving refunds, I think, works. What's your take on it?
Well, I think that, if you help support something with the idea that, it's going to be on a specific storefront, and then people come back and say, no, we're going to do this other thing, I think you're justified in being a little upset. Especially when it's a really terrible one like Epic Games.
Yeah, but how much do you have to interact with that storefront? And I'll be honest with you.
Every time you have to open the game, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. Or at least that's how it works with Steam.
So you have to go through Steam every time you want to open the game?
Yes. And it's true for every other storefront that I've encountered so far.
Okay, alright. Being the non-gamer here. So it's a little bit more than just a storefront. It's actually a partner for accessing the game.
Yes.
And I'm guessing that Epic is not Epic.
Yeah, they're not Epic at all. That and a lot of people dislike Fortnite. Why?
It's hugely popular.
I think that's why a lot of people don't like it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's like, you're the band that you like all of a sudden, puts out an album with a bunch of hits. Oh, they're sellouts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called making a living, pal. It's called not friggin' starving. Yeah, since it's more than just a one-time, like people getting pissed off because you got to go to Macy's to buy something instead of Sears, even though the price is the same. You just got to deal with it at the store. That seems a little petty, but if you have to go through the store every single time you want to use it, and Epic is lousy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Epic doesn't even have a cart, so you can't buy multiple things at once.
I warned you. Now the claws come out.
Ooh, here it comes.
Kill this
Chick fight.
Yeah. All we need is some mud.
Yeah. I see a little hair.
Yeah.
A little hair pulling.
Mad Minu Run. That's quite the name.
Yeah.
That's a little cute, adorable kitty name. Chirdazi, the chopper, who uses a bow and arrow.
Yeah. Get to the chopper. It looks like he got to the chopper. Yeah, you can do it right
Well,
now.
I just think it's weird that he's called Chopper, and yet he wields a bow and arrow,
Yeah,
you
that's
think
odd.
he'd be dual wielding, like, choppers or something.
Yeah, axes, kukri, katana, something choppery.
Or, one of those big old chef cleavers. That's what I was thinking
Oh,
of.
there you go.
Yeah.
Chef's cleaver, sure.
Yeah,
Going all-
that'd be grisly.
Oh, yeah, with a bloody apron.
Yeah. That's what you call the chopper right
Oh,
there.
yeah. I'm envisioning
Curse
some
your meddling.
6'8",
Caught that last.
pink, sweaty, red,
Did
sort
you
of
find my
redneck
daughter?
type with a bloody apron
Where
and a
is she?
couple of big Meat cleavers.
Here!
Yeah.
Your daughter is right here, you old fool!
Rideza! You're the one who stole Cynthia? Oh, this one's poor Jakashit.
Ha! Feeling a little jealous? To go so far as to steal your father's pet.
Wow, that's a twist for you.
Ooh, that's twisty.
It seems that our investigation has come to a successful close. Though not quite in a way that Mizik was expecting. In hindsight, it makes sense. When you were told that Ishu's daughter left town years ago, Rideza must have been speaking of herself. Still, to have been chasing Ishu's pet this whole time.
Ha! It was a pet.
This is true. Because of our dedication, Riverhold no longer has to deal with these vile smugglers. And let us hope it stays that way, yes? Mizik just needs to collect our reward. Why don't we meet at the Banished Regrets? Drinks are
You
on
know,
Mizik.
as long as they're demand, there'll always
just
be
as soon as
supply.
he is paid, of course.
Yeah. When you make popular items contraband, you just create black markets and corruption.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, these items aren't banned per se. They're just absurdly expensive due to things like high tariffs.
Oh, there you go. Same thing.
Yeah.
You're essentially imposing sort of a non-market derived cost associated with it.
Yeah.
So what's up next? Are we going to the...
Tiny emus, apparently. Did you miss them?
Yeah, I did.
No.
I was taking,
Trust the blind guy, huh?
I was taking a drink.
No, you weren't.
I was. Water. All right, so what are we doing now? We're going to Banished Regrets? Or
Yep,
whatever
we're
they're
gonna banish our regrets by getting some gold. And hopefully some gear, because I haven't gotten any in a long time. This game's pretty stingy when it comes to gear. At least it feels that way.
called. You've been in quite a few battles. That gear there is probably pretty beat up.
Yeah.
Authentic battle damage.
A family reunited, a smuggling ring destroyed, and the gratitude of all of Riverhold. Not a bad start to a partnership, yes? Mizik was even able to secure a hefty bonus, thanks to the generosity of Captain Kahiri.
A bonus you're willing to share?
Of course, of course. Your share as promised. After all, Mizik would never have been able to solve this investigation without your aid. Pleasure working with you, Walker. Do not be a stranger, yes?
And my inventory's full. Lovely.
So you can't get what they're trying to give you?
Not yet. I have to clear some stuff out of my bag.
Oh, God, every game is like that. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
I guess you can't keep everything. It's sort of some little forced
Family,
discipline.
Of course, a safe
Yeah.
town, a happy client, and an investigation expertly solved. And after such a successful investigation, Mizik is hopeful that more clients will come forth. We live in turbulent times, Walker. Dragons, tyrants, necromancy. There is no end to Elsweyr's suffering as of late, and yet so much is overlooked. Those in power have priorities, and the petty problems of the common folk, they tend to be on the very bottom of this list. That is why we must look after each other. If Mizik does not offer his help, who will?
I'll let him end on that positive note.
Yeah.
Alright, time to head over to Rimond
Oof.
and meet Abner Tharn.
God, you're gonna make me puke.
Ah, your weak stomach.
My weak eyes.
Weak brain, too.
My stomach's large and in charge. It's not taking any crap. My
It's
eyes.
certainly full of crap.
No, it's full of barf. Oh man, no wonder I puked. My stomach was full of barf. That was
Face
a
plant
pillar.
into a pole.
Yeah, you can't go through that. Ooh, little laggage there. Blurk. Oh, that's hard to watch. Holy crap.
You really having that much trouble?
Yeah. Northern Elsweyr.
Already been through this.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty picture of a dragon. Although that looks more like a wyvern to me. I don't know why people insist on not giving them the front legs, just the back ones.
What do you mean?
Like, dragons are supposed to have, like, 2 sets of legs. You know, you have the front and the back.
Right.
And then you have the wings. But
Mhm.
these guys, they don't have the front legs.
That's
Just
true.
the back and the wings. Which makes them wyverns, not dragons.
Oh, is that the difference?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. Okay.
Alright. Hey, Abner.
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophetic inklings. On the surface, yes, but peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me, and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmon is far tighter than it appears. Very well. But what I'm about to show you isn't for the faint of heart. Follow me.
Uh-oh. This sounds sticky.
Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than slaves.
Not sure that's really possible. I mean...
Yeah. I've seen quite a bit.
It's that building over there. For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them.
You're gonna pipe up, Abner? Okay.
Yeah, there
The
we go.
workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before.
That actually used to happen.
One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiiti citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but effective. The Rimmon Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Monstrous, but ingenious. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiiti, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings.
That really is pretty repugnant.
Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace.
Actually, it's not too far off. I mean, back in the day, 100 years ago, you would have factory towns where a big
Take a
company
look
would
around.
actually pretty much
Business
build a town
seems to be thriving, but
and
appearances
then
can be
bring
deceiving.
workers in, and workers would think, "Oh, great, you know."
It may be hard to see, but the
they'd charge them
Khajiiti
rent and
merchants
all the other
struggle to
fees
keep their
for the
stalls open,
lodgings,
while the less
and,
bestial business people rake in the
they wouldn't get
profits.
much out of it.
Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but we know better. Unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax. On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiiti pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land. Come
And
along.
while they do
I
shed,
want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace walls.
yeah, even Hershey's, you know, the Hershey's chocolate,
Yeah.
They even have a bit of a notorious,
Factory town.
yeah, in fact, sort of history associated with that.
That's not.
Not horrible, but yeah, kind of unscrupulous.
Yeah.
They just, the workers would come in and they just nickel and dime them
See
for
the
every goddamn
trebuchets?
thing to the point where
Notice
they
how
never could
they're
get ahead.
aimed into the city
That's
below.
just horrible.
See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls.
One of the impetus for forming
When it
trade
comes right
unions.
down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success. How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the
And also to
Elsweyr
keep blacks
Defense
from
Force at
getting jobs.
bay? She declared publicly
reason
and
for
has
unions as
repeated
well.
often that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted.
Well, that makes it okay.
Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
I don't think it's gonna go like that.
Yeah. Definitely not gonna go that route.
It's funny how things are. There's always so many different shades of gray in things.
Ah,
Like with
here
unions and
come
that sort of
Queen
thing.
Euraxia's
Yeah.
guests now.
Oh, that's a
I don't
nasty
like the
little
looks of
floating
these
head.
meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it.
Wow, that's
Wasn't.
disgusting.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Zumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confidant, Sir Cadwell the Betrayer. Ah, yes. The Betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark night that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head, it was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
So what?
Ooh, sassy.
So what the heck happened to Cadwell?
Now about the
Basically,
rest of my body, oh pest.
The Cadwell that we met so far is just
Your
the soul.
insults won't
That's
hasten
the
the
corpse.
process, betrayer.
But there's a terrible draft in what used to be my nether regions.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Presenting Abner
Probably happens to you
Tharn,
pretty often.
Grand
Not something I have to
Chancellor
deal
and
with.
Overlord of Nibene,
Yep, I
Imperial
like to just
Battle
go
Mage
commando.
of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen isn't-
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
Ooh.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh, well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the losing side? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I
If
assure
you join up with either the
But
Mage
why do you
Guild or
suppose
the Intimidate,
I have anything to do with
or
dragons?
the Adventurers Guild, you can get the Persuade or Intimidate talents, which will allow you to
Oh, how
use Persuade or
precious.
Intimidate
I
options when
hoped my
speaking to
pompous
people.
half-brother would provide an amusement, but this is even better. I have a chamber set aside in the dungeons just for you.
Ooh.
We'll play the most interesting games, you and I, until your body gives out.
Wow.
Do not
She
presume
is
to lecture me.
really
I
creepy.
make the rules here, not
That is
you
so
or
coming
Abner.
across as like
I
porn.
have a special relationship
Oh, yeah.
with Mulan here, an understanding.
But that
The
and
dragons
sex
will
are not
secure
things
my
I want
hold over
associated in my
Elsweyr,
brain.
and there's nothing you or my half-brother can do to stop them.
Well, she's
Enough.
got a room where they're gonna play games until her
Zubov
body gives
fool.
out.
What news do
I
you
mean,
bring?
that's just
The Desert
naughty,
Wind
naughty.
Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guards, take them to the dungeons.
I think not.
The recesses beneath Ribbon Palace were originally built to provide maintenance access to its freshwater sanitation system, and then expanded into storage and other stuff.
Well, I suppose that could have gone better.
Where are we and how do we get here?
I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adaptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold.
Alright! Time to go dashing through the sewers. Hopefully there aren't any rats of unusual size.
Oh, I'm imagining there probably will be. There should be something. There you go.
You completely failed with that reference.
I did. Well, what was it from?
God, Princess Bride? Pretty sure that's where it's from.
Oh, it's been forever since I've seen that. Okay. Well done, then. Well done. Oh, this must be the New York sewers, man. They got gators and stuff.
That's a salamander,
A
not a
salamander.
gator. Completely different creature.
Yes, but don't believe salamanders grow that big in our world.
Well, this isn't our world, and oh, that's a lot of nasty running around behind that guy. I can't believe it takes multiple flaming skulls to kill a giant rat.
You can never have too many rats. They're so tasty, you know.
God, you love that old reference.
I do.
Restrain the traitors!
Traitors?
Light
I was
up!
never on your side in the first place.
Yeah, I know. You're not a traitor. Wow, nice getting in the way, pal. There you go.
There we go. That almost ended badly.
Like rats in the sewer, just as the Queen anticipated.
Okay, so regarding that Shenmue deal, they were saying that the exclusivity deal with Epic expires after a year.
Yeah.
Now, let's assume you bought the game, and let's
The
assume
way
after a year you're
finally.
still playing it.
I can't abide
forget
another
anything,
moment
but
in this stench.
Yeah.
would you still, if you bought it from Epic, would you still have to go through Epic to launch it, or you know what I mean?
If you bought it on Epic, you will continue to have to launch it on Epic.
Even after the exclusivity deal is gone.
Over, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you waited until the exclusivity was over and you bought it on Steam, then you'd go through Steam.
Gotcha. So
It's kind of frustrating because,
you know, we should have cut some of this shit out.
whatever.
Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for Euraxia's lackeys to follow us. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Adaptorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against Riverhold. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted, well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the Desert Wind Adaptorium. Adaptoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's why we're cutting it off here today. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Alchemist.
And yeah, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And we hope you have an awesome day.
Adios.